What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Big Bro and Little Sis Reacts. I'm Tamaj, and today I'm here with Game of Thrones, Season 3, Episode 2, Dark Wings, Dark Worlds. So yeah, I did a really good recap. I'm just coming off the first episode. I did watch the inside the episode. Sometimes I watch those, I don't always do it, but I did watch the inside for the first episode, because sometimes I find that they can explain the characters' actions in a way maybe that I didn't think of. And it actually happened this one with Cersei. I wasn't really picking up on the fact that she felt threatened by Marjorie, and the fact that how they explained it was, you know, Marjorie represents everything Cersei isn't, and that is like good with the people. She's also, I mean, they had a lot in common, like being smart, pretty, but Cersei isn't young anymore. She doesn't have a king. She's not good with people, so it's just like, she feels threatened by that. She's losing her hold on Joffrey, though that was happening before she even got there. So I just found that a little bit interesting. The rest I kind of pretty much put together. They don't go super into detail. They only do like touch on a few characters in a few moments, but I always sometimes find those insightful. But other than that, I'm ready to jump into episode 2. Let's see what they got. Full and early reactions are available on Patreon. It's funny, they always start with King's Landing because it's like the center of attention. It's the only thing that matters, I guess. Bran, have another one of them damn dreams again. At least he ain't the wolf this time. But he does seem to be hunting something. Motherfucker.
Don't think too much, Bran.
Relax your bow arm.
Father.
You can't kill it, you know.
That's supposed to be Theon?
Because the raven is you.
Hold on.
It's alright, Hodor.
I love how he just says his name. Hodor. He's like a Pokemon. They just say their own names.
Were you inside the wolf again, little lord? No. It's a three-eyed raven. He's back. I tried to kill it, but I couldn't. There was a boy. I don't want to hear about it.
So you don't know who the boy was?
But you asked. We've got plenty of worries. We don't need to pour black magic on top of them. I didn't ask for black magic dreams. I know you didn't.
He's getting a lot older now. The actor, anyway.
We need to move. We don't know who might be after us. No one even knows we're alive. Who told you that? Three-eyed raven tell you? No. Some good hears then.
The thing about her is she knows how to survive out
I
here.
don't know what other people know and what they don't. I only know the wall is a long way off.
Shit, y'all, I don't want to go that way. What she was running from initially is coming your damn way. If they get lucky, they might run into Arya, but she kind of way out the way. So.
Pardon me, Your Grace. My queen.
Lord Bolton.
Let me guess which one is the good news.
We just got a
Word from
letter.
Riverrun
Wonder who it's
and
from.
Winterfell.
I haven't seen him in years. I don't even know how many.
We'll travel to the funeral together. Lord Bolton will garrison here until we return.
Something else?
By the time Bolton's bastard got to Winterfell, the Ironborn were gone. They massacred everyone and put the castle to the torch.
She's gonna think Brandon and Rickon are dead.
And Bran and Rickon have not been found.
But their bodies were hanging unless they removed those.
And they may have escaped. Or Theon may have taken them back to the Iron Islands as hostages.
She's like, all
Have
my
you
fucking
received
kids are
anything else?
hostages. That's what she's thinking.
No.
Have you heard anything from Theon at all?
They got him tied up like they about to torture him. Or torture?
Where am I? Who are you? What do you want?
I want to do this.
Damn. I mean, you get everything
Do you know how long
that you
it's going to
deserve
take us to get
because
to King's
you did it.
with fields and forests?
They're showing everybody this episode they ain't showing the last.
By putting one foot in front of the other.
It's going to be a very dull war.
I'm here to take you to King's Landing and bring back Lady Stark's daughters in exchange. Dull is fun.
We really had to stop and show Janie take a piss. As if I give a
Why
damn.
did you come into Lady Stark's service?
That's something we could talk about.
Not your concern, Kingslayer.
It had to be recently. You weren't with her at Winterfell.
How do you know?
Because I visited Winterfell. But noticed your dour head smacking into the archways. Were you pledged to Stannis?
Gods no.
Ah, Renly. Really? He wasn't fit to rule over anything more important than a 12-course meal.
Shut your mouth.
It's all true about Renly. His proclivities were the worst kept secret at court. It's a shame the throne isn't made out of cocks. They'd have never got him off it. Shut your mouth. I don't blame him. I don't blame you either. Don't get the juice who we love.
Only you would believe something like that.
Where you headed then?
South. You?
River Run. Staying off the King's Road, are you? They get you no matter where you go. You can't win.
No, you really can't.
Looks like you're safe enough, though. Meaning no offence, my lady, but I wouldn't tangle with you.
Me neither.
7 blessings to you.
He knows who I am.
It doesn't.
Maybe you're right. What if you're not?
She's not gonna kill him. Stop trying to get her to do it.
We're not doing it. He's an innocent man.
More innocent than Eddie Stark's daughters.
Stop. She doesn't want to.
Tell me what you think of her.
Who?
Marjorie.
She's an ideal match. With the Tyrells beside us, we'll crush the Northerners.
That I
Find their
think about.
lords, burn their strongholds, sow their fields with salt, and no one will think of rebelling for another century.
It is a good match, but what do you think of her? She's beautiful and intelligent.
Yes, she is.
Her concern with the well-being of the common people is interesting.
To me,
I only meant that to go out of your way to endanger yourself.
it's becoming one of the most boring conversations I've ever had.
Marjorie Tyrell dotes on filthy urchins for a reason. She dresses like a harlot for a reason. She married a traitor and known degenerate like Renly Baratheon for a
She
reason.
married Renly Baratheon because she was told to. That's what intelligent women do. What they're told.
You need to ask
She's so
yourself
I
why
disgusted.
don't need to do anything.
Joffrey just fucking hates women. Like, he gives no respect to them. Cersei, you then lost any respect, hold, power, counsel, or anything over him.
I
He's
still
never
don't
want to listen
believe
to
it.
you anymore.
He didn't. He didn't want
But
to.
he'll come
know.
running to
He
you, you know, when the going gets
takes
tough.
an interest because he loved my mother.
Lady Sansa,
Dolores.
my sister Marjorie invites you to take the air with her and our grandmother, the Lady Olenna, in the gardens.
The audacity.
May I escort you to them?
I know she don't like Joffrey, but I'm just saying, in the real circumstance, you just took her man. Now you want her to come hang out with you and your grandma?
You probably don't remember the first time we met. At the Hands Torn, you gave me your favor. A rose, a red rose.
Of course I did.
You're such a dear.
Take my leave. Lady Sansa?
Thank you, Dolores.
Come. The Lady Olenna of House Tyrell.
Kiss me, child. It's so good of you to visit me in my foolish flock of hens. I'm very sorry for your losses.
And I was sorry when I heard of Lord Renly's death, Lady Marjorie. He was very gallant.
Gallant, yes, and charming and very clean. He knew how to dress and smile, and somehow this gave him the notion he was fit to be king.
Renly was brave and gentle, grandmother. Father liked him, and so did Loras.
Loras is young and very good at knocking men off horses with a stick. That does not make him wise. As to your fathead father,
Grandmother, what will Sansa think of us?
you might think we have some wits about us. One of us at any rate. It was treason.
Grandma's
I
telling
warned
like it
them.
is.
Robert
They don't
has
have
two
no
sons
filter.
and
I'm
Renly has an
speaking
older
from
brother.
experience. My grandmas
How can
don't
you
have
possibly
filter.
have any claim to that ugly iron chair? We should have stayed well out of all this, if you ask me. I'm much less boring than these others.
I would
You
say
know
so.
my son, the Lord of High Garden?
I haven't had the pleasure.
No great pleasure, believe me. Ponderous oaf. His father was an oaf as well. My husband, the late Lord Luther,
Well, I know
managed to
Luther.
ride off a cliff whilst hawking. I want you to tell me the truth about this royal boy, this Joffrey.
I...
You. Who else would know better? We've heard some troubling tales. Is there any truth to them? Has this boy mistreated you? Has he ripped out your tongue?
King Joffrey, his grace is very fair and handsome and as brave as a lion.
Yes, all Lannisters are
He's a
lions.
very bad liar.
And when a Tyrell farts, it smells like a rose. But how kind is he? How clever? Has he a good heart, a gentle hand?
I'm to be his wife. I only want to know what that means.
We're only women here. Tell us the truth.
You gotta be careful who you
No
trust.
harm will come to you.
My father always told the truth.
Yes, he had that reputation.
And they got him
They named
killed.
him traitor and took his head.
Joffrey.
Yep, she
Joffrey
said
did that.
Joffrey, not
He
King
promised he would be
Joffrey.
merciful, and he cut my father's head off. And he said that was mercy. And he took me up on the walls and made me look at it.
I hope they can be trusted. Please don't do nothing.
I can't. I never meant. My father was a traitor. My brother as well. I have traitor's blood. Please don't make me say anymore.
She's terrified, Grandmother. Just look at her.
Speak freely, child. We would never betray your confidence, I swear.
See, I'm like her. I don't trust nobody. She wants to be safe.
He's a
Better
monster.
safe than sorry.
Ah, that's a pity.
Please don't stop the wedding.
Have no fear. The Lord Oaf of Highgarden is determined that Marjorie shall be queen. Even so, we thank you for the truth.
You just gotta be careful these days. I was even feeling the way she was, like scared for her to say anything.
We're at war. This march is a distraction.
My grandfather's funeral is not a distraction.
We ride into battle at River
I
Road.
love how the dire wolf
No,
keeps
then
watching
it's a
from afar.
distraction.
My uncle Edmure has his forces garrisoned there. We need his men.
Yeah, speak my mind, your grace.
Have you not been speaking your mind, Lord Karsark?
That you lost this war. The day you married her.
Why? Because they created a friend out of the one guy, Fred.
May I help you, Lady Stark?
No.
Only a mother can make them. You've made them before? Did they work?
After a fashion. I prayed for my son Bran to survive this fall.
Saying it
Many
works,
years
but it comes
before
with a
that,
price
one of the
too.
boys came down with the pox. Mr. Lewin said if he made it through the night, he'd live. But it would be a very long night. So I sat with him all through the darkness. Listened to his ragged little breath, his coughing, his whimpering.
Which boy?
Jon Snow.
Really?
When my husband brought that baby home from the war, I couldn't bear to look at him. Didn't want to see those brown stranger's eyes staring up at me. So I prayed to the gods. Take him away. Make him die.
Wow.
He got the pox, and I knew I was the worst woman who ever lived. A murderer. I'd condemned this poor, innocent child to a horrible death. All because I was jealous of his mother. A woman he didn't even know. So I prayed to all 7 gods. Let the boy live. Let him live. And I'll love him. I'll be a mother to him. I'll beg my husband to give him a true name. To call him Stark and be done with it.
But you didn't.
To make him one of us.
And he lived?
And he lived.
But you didn't do any of those things.
And I couldn't keep my promise. And everything that's happened since then, all this horror that's come to my family, it's all because I couldn't love a motherless child.
So now you have some regret for Mr. Snow. Huh. Well, it's a little too late for
It's
that.
hard for you to kill the half.
I don't know if you'll ever see each other again. To be honest.
Yes.
Y'all worlds are
You
so
like him?
far apart.
I like you, but if you're playing as false,
It's like when you're watching John, it's an entirely
Blood
different show.
blood in my veins. These are
Different
my
roles,
people.
different characters.
I understand. Well, how could you understand?
You want to protect your people.
Do you know what it takes to unite 90 clans, half of whom want to massacre the other half for one insult or another? They speak 7 different languages in my army. The Fens hate the Hornfoots hate the Ice River clans. Everyone hates the cave people. So, You know how I got moon worshippers and cannibals and giants to march together in the same army? I told them we were all going to die if we don't get south. Because that's the truth. Shouldn't be long now.
What the fuck? Is he using magic? I know all that crazy shit actually exists out here.
He's a warg. He can enter the mind of animals, see through their eyes.
So is that what Bran is? A warg?
But you've never met a warg.
Oh, his brother's one, but he didn't know. They don't know what that is. I didn't know what that is. This is what he does when he sleeps. That is cool. I ain't gonna lie. That's a cool ability. It reminds me of Vixen almost.
Hello, Sam. No. Hello. Stop. You'll die.
Of course, if you don't stop, you'll probably die too.
You don't care.
Get out of here. Positivity, please. Positivity.
And the White Walkers came, you left me.
Aye, we left you. You're fat and you're slow. We didn't want to die.
He's very blunt.
Get him up.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I would have ran too, and I wouldn't have looked back. You can't keep up. Good luck. That doesn't mean I would, if you made it, that I would just let you die every single time you give up. Whose story are we off on to next? Back to Bran. Now that I know he's a ward.
Where's Rion and Hodel? Looking for food. What's up?
The dire wolf got you, so you ain't even gotta worry. She's, you know, pretty scrappy, so. Oh, he knows exactly whatever it is and where it's at. Boy.
Not another step, boy. Unless you want to drown in your own blood.
I'm unarmed.
That was Bob. I mean,
Rickton can see the future because he knew Ned was gonna die.
I'm better with them.
Dang, direwolf, you let him sneak up on us like that?
You must be Summer.
Just don't tell me he's a ward. What is he?
I'm Jojen Reed. This is my sister, Mira.
Why were you in my dream? Why are you here? How did you
We've
talk
come a
about my
long way to
wolf?
find you, Brandon, and we have much farther to go.
I'm just
He
trying to
has to be a
understand.
ward too.
Would you please shut up about it?
Jack and Hagar offered you 3 kills.
Maybe he's
I'm
been
not
the Raven
listening.
in the
But just
dream,
explain it to me.
looking for Bran,
You offered to
always
kill
like
any
watching
3
him
people
and
you
stuff.
wanted.
I don't know.
Dead. All you had to do was give him the names. Anyone.
Now that I know people can
You
be
could've picked King
animals,
Joffrey.
I gotta
Could've picked
be
Tywin
careful of
Lannister.
that.
Jack and got us
Be
out of
somebody
Harrenhal,
watching.
so why are you complaining?
But you could have ended the war.
Where are we going?
North.
If we were going north, we should have come to the Red Fork River by now. If we hit the Red Fork, we can follow it west to River Run. My mother grew up there. My grandfather's the Lord. He'll protect us.
That's where you need to go. Keep it down. Keep it cover.
Could be a meat shop.
Shut up.
They talk about lions, that ain't your sigil.
We could jump him, tie him up, steal his gold and buy some food.
No, shut up. We're not doing none of that shit. You don't make the plans. And they don't look friendly. They're talking about Castle Rock and shit. No. They saw him.
What's lurking behind that wall? A lion? A wolf?
Just a dirty little cub, I think.
Loose a few more shafts.
Don't.
Put the sword down, girl.
You go on down the road. Just keep on singing so we know where you are. Leave us be, and I won't kill you.
Generous. Why are your friends so shy?
What friends?
You said
The
we.
fat one to your left and the lad beside him.
And you said we and us. You gave it away.
You escaped from Harrenhal?
Who are you?
Thoros of Myr. And the fellow here with the bow is Anguy.
No, who do you fight for?
The Brotherhood without banners. Now come along. I want to hear how 2 boys and a very dangerous girl escaped Harrenhal.
I'm not going with them. The Brotherhood, That's who the mountain them lot were looking for. They'll bring us back and put rats in us.
You've got nothing to fear from us, son. The lords of Westeros want to burn the countryside. We're trying to save it.
I remember they were
Come
torturing
on.
people looking for the Brotherhood.
We'll talk some more over brown bread and stew.
People didn't really know.
Go on your way.
They suspected everybody was with them. Okay, another group, another storyline. Still with it.
Half the country's starving, and look at this one.
Maybe it's the reason half the country's starving.
Yeah, so damn rude.
I'm worried about Sansa. When she spoke with Lord Baelish, his friend warned me about him.
Baelish doesn't have friends.
I don't know her name.
Oh, Ros, the redhead?
How do you know her?
Try to know as many people as I can. Never know which one you'll need.
Ain't that the truth?
She's a whore.
Yes, well, we shouldn't be judgmental about these things.
You fucked her.
Oh, please. All right, yes, I fucked her once.
Twice.
Twice. But since I met you, my lady, I've been with no one else.
And? Was she good? Did you like her?
Not as much as I like you, obviously, or she'd be the one torturing me right now. What did she say about Littlefinger?
That Sansa shouldn't trust him.
Is there an idiot in any village who trusts Littlefinger?
We have to protect her.
We can't. Now that the Lannisters have discarded her, Sansa will have many suitors. A great beauty with a very old name.
Oh, a great beauty!
Yes, she is, objectively, very. Her face is quite pleasing to other men and to women, people in general. I only have eyes for you.
You bird! You want her? This child!
I don't even want to talk about her.
But you are!
Only because you're making me.
I didn't force you to open your mouth and make words come out.
This is cruel and unfair. Cruelly unfair.
Oh, the cruelty. She is so cruel to me.
These two are just hilarious. I love them. You better watch your back from Cersei.
Lady Tyrell,
She
my
does
king.
not
Send her
like
in.
you. Why'd he get this crossbow? Who you planning on shooting?
You wanted to see me, Your Grace.
I'm leaving on a hunting trip.
Please, die like your
to make
daddy
sure
did
you had everything you need before
on
I
his
left.
hunting trip.
That's very thoughtful, Your Grace. I have everything I could want.
Good. How are you finding life in the capital? Must be quite a change after Renly's camp.
Why you got that shit pointed at me, though?
A military encampment is no place for a lady.
And the bedside of a traitor.
I knew it. Because why would you have the crossbow?
For a lady.
Your Grace, I
Did
tried to
Cersei
do
say
my
something?
duty as a wife. That is all.
How
What
did
was
you
your
know
duty
this?
to this traitor as you saw it?
The duty of any wife to any husband, to provide him with children.
You failed to do this. Why?
I would not speak ill of the dead, Your Grace.
You think one ought to speak kindly of a traitor merely because he's had a sword put through his heart?
No. I do beg your pardon. The subtleties of politics are often lost on me. Renly, I don't believe he was interested in the company of women.
What makes you say this?
Whenever I wanted to make a child with him, he had so many excuses, so many late-night war councils. He never wanted to try, except one evening, after he'd had far too much wine to drink, he suggested something that sounded very painful and couldn't possibly result in children. Maybe the fault was with me, maybe...
No. He was a known degenerate.
It's such a relief to hear you
She's
say
smart.
so, Your Grace.
She's smart. She knows how to talk her
Considered
way out of
making
this.
Perversion punishable by death.
You must do whatever you need to do. You are the king.
Yes. He's
He
probably one of
doesn't
the
even know what
finest
that
weapons in
means. Like, he doesn't know what to
7
do with
It's
it.
beautiful.
He hates
Will you
not
show me
knowing what
how
to
it
do.
works?
He hates not being confident. I could just see it in him. He likes the title of king.
It's a new design.
He likes the thought of being
Much
all powerful,
easier to
but
load. There's no crank.
he doesn't know how to
You use
wield
this
that
lever.
power.
Stop!
Tell us the truth.
About what? I told you what you want!
I want the truth.
What truth?
Why'd you take Winterfell?
I took it on my own.
Why?
To take it off while it was vulnerable.
What were you going to do once you took it?
Hold it, rule it. Why'd you do that? I told
Why did you
take Winterfell.
I took it to bring glory to my house and my father. Wait. I took it because I hated the Starks. I hated them for holding me prisoner. I wanted
You're looking
to
for the
hurt
right
them.
answer, and it makes it seem like what you're saying is a lie.
What are you doing? Please. I'll tell you anything. Just take it off. Please, just take it off.
Shouldn't have been a traitor, bro.
Sister sent me.
Don't scream.
I'll come for you tonight when the castle sleeps.
Oh, no, don't go. Please don't leave me. Please don't go, please.
Don't cry now. You made your bed, you gotta lie in it. Big boy decisions have big boy consequences.
It's alright. The walls will protect him.
Like, why me? He has his own wolf.
You can get inside his head. See through his eyes.
Only when I'm asleep.
That's how it begins until you learn to control it.
I was right.
You're a wall.
It's not just wolves. Sometimes in my dreams,
Three-eyed raven.
you've seen it.
We saw him together. You haven't forgotten.
Does it have anything to do with warging?
No, the raven is something different. Something deeper. The raven brings to sight.
Seeing things that haven't happened yet.
Which is how we saw the death, how we saw you.
Born, or things that are happening right now, thousands of miles away.
When my father died, I dreamt it.
You didn't dream it, you saw it. So did I.
You have the sight too.
When I told my father about your father, the first time in my life I saw him cry.
Your father is Howland Reed. Saved my father's life during the rebellion.
Father told you about the rebellion. I never did. I saw that too.
What else have you seen?
The only one thing that matters. You.
Why does he matter? You've seen something in his future, perhaps? That's cool. I'm glad
I never
Brand
liked
has
the
a power.
skinny ones.
I really didn't think when I came to the show people would be having powers.
Welcome up
and
with
all
us to
this,
drinking
but
from a puddle every now and again.
it's mind blowing. I really thought the show was a bit more grounded. I knew I had to understand the dragons, but I can get behind that. But I thought everybody else was just normal. I didn't know nothing about these witches.
How did
I think I knew about the White Walkers, kind of. I think I knew a
How
bit
did
about the
three
zombie,
young
but not
persons
much.
yourselves untrained in the art of war?
So the stuff's different.
Gendry stole his weapons.
Ah, thought you were out of Harrow, I see.
He knows how to use a sword. And so do I. My brothers taught me.
Just sticking with the pointy end. And challenge her. Oh, come on, Arya. The dancer taught you better than that.
To your brothers. You can finish your meals before you go.
She has a bit more to
You may be a while before you see another.
You'll free us?
I give you my word.
Finally, some decent people. God.
But before
There
you
she
go,
is.
allow me to raise a cup to you. That is an uncommonly large person. How does one manage to subdue such an uncommonly large person?
Don't tell me that's
He had to
Hodor.
drink until he passed it out.
Poor man. You have my sympathy.
Oh, the Hound.
Aha. Not a man at all. A hound!
I should have known better. They're Arya and Bran aren't close at all. Like, area. They can't be too far off because he came from King's Landing.
Drinking and talking too much, same as them. Go.
What in seven hells are you doing with the Stark bitch?
Excuse me? Damn, he done just exposed her. And she was leaving. Why you gotta talk so goddamn much?
Take the bridge and risk being seen across the Great Water.
Silence, Kingslayer.
Now, anyone could see us on the bridge, but across bad water, and the current could take us, or they could escape down the river.
Good luck.
It's wonderful to watch you wrestle with these dilemmas. Which will she choose?
She could choose to walk around.
Gambler's heart. Wouldn't have guessed.
Be quick about it.
Oh, I need to rest.
Get up.
Get up.
You're on your feet and walk.
Start punching him until he starts walking.
Mounds. I never used to get cold.
It's a trap.
Of course, I used to ride everywhere.
Somehow,
march around.
some way it is.
Foot soldier wearing the same shit boots.
He's trying to get
here.
seen.
This heals through it. There's no.
He's a good sword fighter. Fuck. He tricks you. But he could be a little weak from, you know, not eating properly and stuff. Come on, Brienne.
You shouldn't grimace before your lunch. It gives away the game.
He ain't trying to kill it. So what is he trying to do for you?
If you kill me, you fail Lady Stark. But if you don't kill me, I'm going to kill you.
I don't believe that. He ain't trying that hard.
Good. Good. See? If you were willing to hurt me, you might have had me there.
He's too weak to go, you know, fully at it like Ned and him went. He's gonna jump in the water. Be careful, Brienne. Look, she ain't even trying. She said, "Bitch, come at me, then." Ooh, I thought she. Somebody's coming. He stalled just long enough. The guy told.
Looks like your woman's getting the better of you. If you can call that a woman.
We enjoy a good fight. Gets our juices flowing. Late man of House Bolton. Bit gruesome for my taste.
You sure he's the one?
That's him, all right. My son fight at the tourney for Sir Willem Frey's wedding.
And Jamie was right. They should have killed him.
Let us go. My father will pay you
But she
whatever
did
you
the
want.
moral thing.
Enough to buy me a new head. If the king in the north hears I had the Kingslayer and let him go, he'll be taking it right off. I'd rather he takes yours.
Well, I'm not mad. Turn him rightfully back to the Stark's custodies. I could care less. I just didn't know whose side they were on. I was kind of afraid they were. Well, I guess it would have been evidently apparent if he was working with King's Landing, because they would have, you know, been like, oh, Jamie Lannister, let's help him out. But no, they want to return him to the north. That's cool. Brienne better just cooperate. I don't want her to get hurt or nothing. I like her character. I do. She could beat Jamie, though. But I think that's, again, mainly because he hasn't eaten properly. He hasn't, you know, slept decently. He's in harsh conditions. He's been in cages. He's been tied up. He's been walking. He's exhausted. He hasn't been, you know, training and keeping fit, you know. So, like, he's getting weaker, like, physically. So I think that's what that was about. But he still, I mean, handled himself well. He just isn't up. He's not at peak. Because I've seen him fighting with Ned. They were going at it. Yeah, Brienne is no pushover though, either way. So that was interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. Arya now got exposed by the Hound with the Brotherhood. So I don't know what they're going to do now that they know who she is. I don't even really know what the Brotherhood is about. They seem decent though. They were like, we'll just give you food and yeah, y'all can go. I mean, so they seem like half decent people. But I don't know if they have grievances with the people of the North, the Starks, anything like that. I mean, but they're enemies of Harrenhal, or at least the people there. So that means I guess they wouldn't technically align with them. So I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know enough about those characters yet. I just know that there are people out there that want to kill them. I'm not going to lie, fear for Marjorie's safety for a second. I just thought Joffrey was going to shoot her, especially when he called her a traitor. But she cleared things up about why she didn't have a baby with the last king. And he probably was suspecting that, oh, how did you and the other king not have babies and then he ended up dead? Are you trying to do that same thing to me, seduce me, then kill me? So he was trying to be smart, but he ended up getting wrapped back into her lies and her trickery. Speaking of her and her grandmother were quite interesting, questioning Sansa and getting the truth from her. They wanted to know what he's about. The Tyrells are smart. Like I said, we got to watch them. They've always played smart. From what I hear in the history of Lords, they stayed loyal to an extent to where their people weren't harmed, so that when the time came, they could kind of push either way, no matter who won. So they're playing a game. And I'm only just now seeing some players like the grandmother, who's extremely smart. They mentioned some of the other Tyrells, but the grandma makes a fool of most of the men, like Marjorie's father and whatever. So we'll see what happens with the Tyrells. I got my eye on them. I think they're going to be big players in this season. So we'll see. They may want to take the Iron Throne for themselves, because you got to think, she was with Renly. That plan failed, so now she went directly to King's Landing. But it's like, I noticed she's under order, so it's not that she's necessarily choosing this. It's somebody higher up choosing this and telling her what to do. So that's why I said I think there's a big grand scheme here with the Tyrells. But like I said, I got to meet those characters, those players, and see what's going on and how they're going to fit into this game. Because now I'm looking at this show differently. I was looking at it as, a show. I was trying to predict it, but it's not a show. It's a game of strategy. And I have to look at all the different players, and that's what I have to look at them as. Not so much characters, but, you do look at them as characters because they have personalities and traits, but they're also players. There's pawns, there's knights. It's literally an entire chess game made into a show. So you kind of got to watch how these pieces are moving, because certain people are moving, a little too boldly, and they're getting taken down, so you got to watch it. It's interesting. Shay made a bold move and went back to Tyrion. Hopefully that doesn't have any consequences. I do think Shay is one of the people who's the least safe, because she's now cautious of Littlefinger, so she's going to be watching him. The relationship with Tyrion and Cersei, I already made a point last episode to say she has spies everywhere. All it takes is for one person to see you, as we see with Brienne and Jaime's situation. It takes one person, and everybody knows. And so we'll see, again, what happens with all of that. Another interesting conversation I found was with Rob and the one guy, when he was like, I think you've already lost this war once you married that girl. So it made me start to think, okay, I was happy for Rob, but I don't know that girl. I really don't. She could be a traitor. She could be somebody who was sent to infiltrate, and she could try to stab and kill Rob in the back later on. Did I really know her? Was it all part of some big plan? Maybe now I'm just getting paranoid. I don't know. I'm like Sansa. I'm just cautious. You don't want to trust anybody. But I understand from Rob's perspective, because it's just like, I could die tomorrow. He's trying to live his life. He's trying to live his truth, what he feels in the moment. So, I guess I can't blame him, but I just hope he's careful. Catelyn's just broken. That story she sold about John was kind of like, wow. I knew how she was treating him, but the fact that there's two sides of her. The side that wants to hate him, but the side, her jealousy is what hates him. Her side of reasoning, because she is a smart and I would say fairly reasonable person, that she knew what she was saying was wrong. He's just a boy. It's not really his fault. It wasn't, it was out of his hands. That's why I don't understand her bastard ideology, but I'm glad she brought that up. But she said, I still couldn't bring myself, even though I prayed for him. She stayed with him the entire night. She said the entire long night, and made, he was healed and everything. But she was like, I just couldn't bring myself though to finish out my promise. I couldn't love him. And she's like, now I'm paying for, all my kids are paying for it, because she's saying she sinned, and all her kids are now in a state of peril, which is true. Her family, they were a tight-knit family, in the first episode. They were all together. Now she's lost her husband. For all she knows, her two youngest are dead, hostages or just out there, none of which are good. She thinks her two daughters are hostages by their enemies, which is bad. And her other son is with her, but he has her arrested and he's leading a war. So it's just like she's going through a lot from her perspective as a mother. And I can understand her sense of like feeling powerless and wanting to help your kids. Like she's been talking about last season going back to Bryn and Rickton. She's like, I've been away too long, I have to go, but Rob needs her to do this, Rob needs her to do that. So she's like, okay, I gotta help him out. I can't just leave my son out here to fight a war and not make sure he's good, but I really do need to go make sure my other kids are good. She didn't get to do that. Now she's probably regretting it because she wasn't there for her kids. But that probably would have resulted in her death, let's be honest. But anyway, yeah, so she's feeling the guilt of that. I understand. She tried to make her move to get Jamie sent with Brienne to get her daughters back. Like, she's trying everything she can, but she's just, I think, feeling powerless at this point. So we'll see. There were so many interesting things about this episode. The wargs, didn't know about them. I mean, you know, I was putting things together last season with Bran going into the dire wolf, but I didn't know that. I mean, I did kind of figure it wouldn't be just him once they said that there were magical beings and people out there, and a lot of these powers and abilities and whatever were lost over time. And then in the History of Lords, it said, you know, that the wall kind of cut all those people off. They still exist just out here. They're not so much in there. So yeah, Osha knows a lot about it, Asha, but she doesn't like to talk about much of that stuff. She just, I guess, I don't know if she called it black magic and stuff. So like, she doesn't like to believe in that stuff, but she knows of it. And that boy came for Bran. He said he's important somehow. So I think he's seen Bran's future. Don't know what role he'll play because, again, he's crippled. But I mean, that doesn't mean he'll be useless. And especially with this ability, like, he can technically fight. If he goes into the dire wolf, he can fight as the dire wolf. So Bran actually has a very powerful ability. Of course, his body is vulnerable, but I think he will be a key player moving forward. I like what they've done with his character so far. I think he's really interesting. So we'll see what happens with him. Got my eye on him. Rickton, he also has to be a warg because he saw the future too. He's a little younger, so they may not explore it as much with him, and they may just focus on Bran, but we'll see, because Rickton could probably do it too. Did I get to everybody? I feel like so much is happening. I don't know, but yeah, I'm also, I guess the last thing I probably want to touch on again is going back to Tyrion and, you know, his father and that conversation they had. And, you know, his father had basically said, you know, you're useless to me. You were the reason the mom died or whatever. So it's just like, he's still here in this episode. So it's like, what is your move now? You know, your father's not going to give you what you want. You're not going to get your respect. So I wonder what his moves are going to be. You know, the woman you love isn't safe here, but you still choose to stay here. Y'all could have left and you could just go on doing, you know, what you were doing. Your father forbidded you from, you know, being with her while you were hand, but that's no longer the case. He's not giving you any power in like Castle Rock. So it's just like, why stay here where you have to hide from your lover, where you have to be disrespected, where you really don't have any power? You have people who actually want to kill you. So it's just like, I wonder what his next move. I think he's plotting. I think eventually he's going to make a play for the Iron Throne. I don't know if he'll be successful. He does have some supporters because they did say to him, we haven't forgot what you did for us. Some of us won't forget, you know, because they know that he was the reason they survived. So it's just like that may come into play later too. Plus he knows the alchemist. So if he makes a play later on in future seasons, I would not be surprised because he takes a lot. And eventually he's going to dish it back. And he's a very smart character. And the smart character, and he knows how to play the game, ultimately. It's just nobody wants to play with him. They don't want to be on his side because he's a dwarf, and they just think that's the worst thing ever. But yeah, loving this season so far. The story is great. I'm just excited to see where it goes. thank you guys for watching. And of course, I want to hear what you guys thought. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, guys on YouTube, get on Patreon. I am way ahead now at this point. So I'm pretty much a season ahead. So if you guys want to binge some reactions or excited for some of the upcoming episodes that I don't know about at this point in time, and you want to see those reactions, they're already up on Patreon. So go and check those out. And I will see you guys on the next one.